Hey guys, and welcome back to Trekyards. He's Commander Cockings.
He is Captain Stewart. Foley.
Anyway, guys, welcome back. We have something really cool to talk about today. Something that impressed me right off the hop with Discovery, and that would be the title sequence. Yeah, I was really blown away by the visual style. So let's talk about it, shall we?
Yeah, this was released the day before, or the day of, but early in the day, and I refused to watch it because
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't catch it on time.
I was like, I want to wait for the actual show, guys. Stop giving me cool stuff to look at. And I watched it. I was like, huh, that's different. What did you think?
Like I said, I love the visual style. I love the blueprints.
Wow, yeah.
The draft paper drawing and things like that. I was, like I said, visually I was impressed. The music still hasn't grown on me for the intro. The first couple beats of the ding ding, like the TOS, love that. It kind of sets you up for it, and then it just kind of, for me, it kind of falls flat a little bit music wise. But I'm not used to it yet, so that's not a fair assessment. But overall, I love the visual style. Like I said, very blueprint like, and yeah, yeah.
For me, it kind of reminisces to, I think back to Voyager and, Leonardo da Vinci's sketches.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
It's kind of got that sort of vibe, with a bit more 3D detail, but, you know what I mean. Yeah, the music for me, it is unmemorable and plain, and it has no sort of pace. I mean, this is not a title sequence that you're, looking forward to watching. There's some title sequences that release. I mean, like the Star Atlantis is a roaring epic with great visuals in it, and it follows you in. And so all the Star Treks have a unique feel. And I really like the Enterprise with the guitar riff. I mean, that was a really big improvement for me. I think you like that without more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like the first one a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, title sequences nowadays are almost a thing of the past. You look at shows, it's like title screen with 3 seconds of music and back to show. To save time or whatnot. So it's nice they actually had one. But in terms of what it is, it was like, I mean, it's certainly radical, and I said to you both in the spoiler review and also in person, obviously on Skype, it feels like a Westworld, very very subdued music. Although that's way more creepy, and it sets the tone for the show. This does not set the tone for a show; it just sort of shows you nice things. And when you watch the show of Westworld, the imagery actually does mean a lot of things, and it actually tells you a little story of how things are built. And whereas this is just like, here's a ship, here's some stuff. I don't see, there's a picture of a person reminiscent of Ilea in such a motion picture. I don't see how that's a visual of a future character that's important, or they really highlight the spacesuit. I'm like, oh, is that going to be a huge part of the season? Because it's such a small, relatively small part of 2 hours. She's in a spacesuit for a bit, she leaves. Unless it's a huge part, it seems like a weird visual to really focus on. As a pretty elongated shot. And so it was a mixed bag of kind of like nice-ish visuals. But I mean, it sort of highlights. Each task sequence is very different, very very different. But for Enterprises, maybe a mistake on the music. I mean, conceptually it's incredible. The evolution of spaceflight, and then the stuff with the Mirror Universe one being the best because it's the evolution of spaceflight, and then also new CG they even put in, which they didn't get paid for. The story behind that is that they wanted to add new stuff. They didn't have time and money. They did it anyway because they knew it had to have some cool stuff. They utilized stuff. They also made some new stuff. So it's a weird one. I mean, it certainly feels like it fits into that sort of Netflixy, artistically, stylistically 2017. We're trying to be something a bit more. I mean, it's kind of like a hipster intro, It's like off kilter. It's Da Vinci mixed with hipster, mixed with some 3D modeling, sort of.
I'll agree with you. The overall package is like that, but if you change the music into something more dynamic and, like you said, memorable, I think this would be awesome. One thing that I want to bring up, well, you actually brought it up to me. Ooh. So I don't know if you want to take it or you want me to take it.
Oh, the TOSE things.
Yes.
I'll throw one more thing out before we go into that.
Yeah.
But this sort of title sequence, though, I just mentioned the very high focus on the spacesuit. Yeah. This sort of title sequence is primed to actually change as the season progresses. where they
yeah.
where they show different. I mean, this is a cheap intro to make, relatively speaking. So why not change the pieces as you go through?
But why didn't the first 2 episodes have the shins out at the beginning then instead of the Discovery?
Hey, because it started Discovery in the end of the day. I mean, whichever. But you know what I mean. I think if they were to change it and make it have more of a narrative, then it would be like the America Dad or intro having different Rogers each time. You know, there's something extra there. I think that could be a great little way. It's like the Attack on Titan credits. Hugely impactful to the story when you know what's happening. I don't know what's happening yet, so but my girlfriend's like, oh, I know what that means, sort of, and it's like, there's extra stuff there. Same with whole sequence as well. So I think that would be a really nice feature, like the spacesuit. Take that out, put in a Klingon something, I know you see like Klingon stabby things or Mechlife-esque things, but this one's definitely ripe for pulling out shots and putting new ones in and evolving it throughout the season. But Stuart, you bring up the thing that I mentioned to you because I just talked for a bit. So what was the thing I noticed?
Yeah, well, the one thing I really liked when I first watched it was the phaser and the communicator shots. And I didn't realize it at first, but there's actually a TOS phaser that turns into the Discovery phaser, and there's also a TOS communicator, which he told me about. Samuel told me about it, and I'm like, no. And then he showed me the screen caps, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't lock onto that.
Yeah.
Because I love the communicator from Discovery, and I love the new phaser as well. So when you see the phaser, and you got all the lines kind of showing parts on it, and then it has the exploded view, which is really neat. I really like that part. But I never noticed the TOS phaser hidden, like, that started it off, that kind of morphed into
Basically, you
it.
Blinked for like a second.
Yeah. Which is interesting because TOS comes after this.
But also, they're ignoring it as well.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But they start with a TOS phaser and it kind of turns into the Discovery phaser, meaning that's the design cue they used to design this phaser, obviously. But I thought it was an interesting step for this opening. And again, I think it harkens back to the sound effects in the show where they just spattered a bunch of different Star Trek effects from different series in the show, which are, some of them are really well done. But it's just subconsciously, it's those things that you don't really notice, but your brain picks up on and goes, oh, I like this. This is familiar to me. And I think that's one of these. That's very much a subconscious subliminal message kind of thing, I think.
Yeah.
Look, we love Canon.
Although I was surprised the TOS one didn't. I mean, it just sort of dissipated into smoke. I was assuming it would then also metamorphise into the communicator, the Discovery version. But yeah, I mean, it was really radical because there's nothing in this episode, or either episodes, that is directly Prime. Basically nothing. There's nothing that is a continuity piece. The only thing you can say probably close enough is the alert symbol, and that's from a later era. And obviously sound effects, I guess sound effects from TOS, but there's nothing visually which is literally Prime canon from the TOS. Everything is different, unique, older, newer, whatever. And so to have actual TOS Prime canon in the TAR sequence, it really is an interesting message, is a statement. I mean, what is it trying to say? Is it trying to say it used to look like this, boom, we've changed it, it's better now? Is it trying to say, hey, we respect you, but we're altering it? Is it trying to say, like, I don't know what, I was very, very blown away by why it would even bother including those, because they're not using that as, they're using as reference, obviously, but they've rebooted that into its own prequel visual advanced style. You know, it's different. So, you know, I mean, it would have been kind of maybe obviously too much if it had, you know, original series stuff that then all metamorphosed into their version. That would have been like, we're rebooting everything. But to have this one in particular, and then the communicator, just very. I would love to know the rationale, because it's interesting. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just really interesting. You know.
Yeah. So never noticed that before, but so thank you for pointing that out, Samuel.
But Stuart, what do you think about the Sarlacc monster that almost eats the Discovery?
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Is a Sarlacc in one of these episodes coming up? Maybe I don't know.
Hey,
then I thought Star Wars, the Falcon, like flying out of the space worm.
Yep.
But that through this whole thing though, the Discovery is flying around. You see it flying over some like craters, or like some planetscapes. So it's kind of an ongoing theme of the Discovery moving forward throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. So I thought the monster was a little odd. Maybe there'll be an episode talking specifically about a space creature that's trying to attack them or something. The next one's the one that interests me, and it's funny that it's got executive producer Alex Kurtzman on it, who was involved with the JJ movies. But it's two astronaut hands doing the hand of God thing. I don't know how I feel about that. Just it's an odd visual reference, and you know, one of them is God, one of them is a man. It's just odd to me. That's all.
I mean, I felt that was an NX task sequence reference. It must have been, because that obviously has a strong focus on contemporary space flight, and this is clearly contemporary. You know, it was. There's sort of no time order of this. It's everything's all over the place. Not in a bad way, but yeah, it's very. That's why music videos are so fascinating to me, especially like the old James Bond ones. It's like all this visual stuff that you have to be sort of high to invent, because it's not, you know, I'm not good at that sort of creativity, but it's just so random and weird. Like, let's have a purple flame with 7, you know, tall people running through bicycle hoops. I don't know what bicycle hoop is. You know what I mean? With an elephant that's jumping on a trampoline through a black hole. I mean, what is this? And yet they say it's got symbolism. I'm like, you're just showing random, you know. So what does this even mean? I'd love to have the thought process, because it could mean something. It probably does. I have no clue. At least in, like I say, Westworld, it did actually mean something specific. And obviously Enterprise means something specific. And then when the Voyager's just want to look pretty, you know. And DS9 is just a. What would you say DS9 is? Just like a gentle.
So welcome to the station.
Yeah.
It's like you're docking at the station. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an in-flight, you know, video saying "Welcome to Deep Space Nine."
Yes.
Don't talk to Morn, because he won't talk back.
But please buy him a drink.
So a couple other little things. There's the Vulcan salute, which is shown. There's a double shot with Klingon knives, the new ones, which Discovery flies through, with the Brian Fuller tag. I say there's a flower, then a Sarlacc creature, a hook thing, mechanical hook, which you see through, pulls onto something. And I saw that as like the work bee.
Yeah.
Referencing that, and the Hand of God thing, and then the Discovery logo. So, and I will say I did love the intro though, where the lines become the Discovery and it becomes all 3. That was obviously brilliant. And then the titles, seeing the Delta with the diagram again, very Da Vinci is what I take it as, and going sort of that warp effect, you know, the zooming out. But closing thoughts, Stuart. Anything else, and what do you think?
Overall, I like it. I just wish the music was more memorable, more upbeat, and more Star Trek. I do appreciate the little TOS tones that they put at the beginning.
Oh yeah, no, that was
But they needed to make it a little more prevalent and obvious if they wanted to do that. But yeah, for me. I can't remember what it sounds like. I'd have to go watch it.
No, I don't know.
So I do like the final title sequence with the words Star Trek Discovery and the Delta behind it. It's amazing.
It's classy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my thoughts. Happy about it, and hopefully it does change over the seasons. Maybe just subtle little changes would be really, really nice. And
for me, it's very much a let's look at Game of Thrones. Let's look at Westworld. You know, Game of Thrones is abstract but literal at the same way. You know, it's an abstract version of a world, and it evolves and it changes. This is a thing that is an abstract yet literal, evolves and changes, and yet Westworld is very clean white. Simple on white background, you know. So like I said, it really is a combination of those two for me. Combined with some Da Vinci, because why not? We recognise that as looking tech and advanced and yet retro. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's not what I would have gone for, but if you ask me what I would have gone for, I mean, at this point you probably can't have another flyby of ship shots. That said, the Orville sequence looks lovely and is pretty, and each shot I'm just like, oh, that's such a nice CG shot.
That said, I gotta just jump in there real quick. That's something that I think Discovery's missing, is those standard ships flybys. We haven't seen any of that in Discovery yet, which bothers me.
It's trying to be that radical departure as a show. It's trying to be the 2017 show. So, you know, hey, as we said before, we'll call out good, call out bad, and let it fall or stand up on its own merit. You know, if they make a great show, we want that. If they make a rubbish show, we don't want that, but we'll talk about it either way, because it's new Star Trek, and
even rubbish shows have good aspects to them, which we will talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we both like the Discovery design as a package. You know, once we see the reason for the chaos and the saucer and the big engine nacelle, which we've been told there are reasons, we've been happier. So I'm excited to see that.
But anyway, guys. Did you like the title sequence?
Yes.
So let us
mostly.
know below. And don't forget to click the Patreon link if you can. Help us out on a monthly basis. As well as heading over to Trekyards.com. Check out all the goodness over there. And donate if you can. A one-time donation as well there. So,
and if you want to support us, just free, just the way you can. Or literally every one of you can. Because if you've got a computer, you're watching us. If you've got a phone, you're watching us. And you can do it with those ways. Subscribe if you've got a YouTube account. Then you get notifications of when we release whatnot. But remember, we've got a Saturday show, we've got a Wednesday show, we've got a Tuesday. It's changing a little bit now with Discovery, but we've always got Discovery reviews, Orville reviews, and lots of other videos coming out throughout the week. Make sure you click that bell notification to get those notifications. Like videos you like, comment on videos if you've got distinct thoughts. We do look at comments, so do say hi. And join the Facebook page, because we have a very active community of people that talk ships. So much a day, it's kind of ridiculous. We lost control of the discussions years ago. You know, they lives of their own, and we love hearing you guys and learning about new ships from that. So please do join and be part of the community.
Yeah, a lot of people talk ship on our site. That's a pun.
That's a good end one. I like that.
All right.
So best pun of the day, Stuart.
All right. So until next time, guys. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Commander Kongs.
See you later.